I'm Eco-Fashion designer Anna Herman. Eco refers to ecology. I'm an American designer. I've spent a great deal of time learning about earth-friendly choices, and I have changed my lifestyle some too. Now I'd like to help teach you to make better choices and be more green. I came up with changing how the world shops about 12 years ago. Now, even if you don't know my name, you can hear my words echoed across the globe. That's changing how the world shops, the 4 W's. Where is it made? Out of what? By whom? And what were they paid? If you ask yourself those questions every single time you go shopping, we will continue to make a huge difference. What you spend your money on says a lot about you. If you were shopping in big box stores, could you change and try to shop locally instead? There are a lot of reasons for this. Many of the products that are made by people in sweatshops they're exposed to a lot of chemicals, and you might even be putting yourself at unnecessary risk without even knowing it because of the things in what you're buying. How to become environmentally friendly and help fight climate change. We have all heard, I am only one person. What can I do? It turns out you could do a lot by just making some simple lifestyle changes. There are many things in your lifestyle that might be very wasteful. You could be harming yourself and the planet just by not knowing. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how important you think you are. The old, I'm entitled, I'm a jet setter model is broken. This is an odd one. They now put polyester in our towels instead of making them out of cotton. How many wash loads a week do you use? 1, 2, more if you have a big family. If they take the poly and it goes down the drain, then it ends up in our oceans. It would be so much better if we just used all cotton towels. Many places are now banning styrofoam because of its destructive environmental impact. Hooray! Does that hamburger come in its very own personal styrofoam box? Styrofoam takes a very long time to decompose. One of my friends takes a look inside the dumpsters near the restaurants before he eats in that restaurant. It tells him many things, whether it's canned food or if they cook the food themselves. Does the restaurant use styrofoam to-go boxes? Boy, he hates those. Basically what they are serving and how much waste they are causing. If he doesn't like what he sees in the trash, he doesn't eat at that restaurant. While you might not want to go that far yourself, keep your eyes open and notice what you do see. Hold on, did that waitress just give me a straw in my drink without asking? You know those papers they wrap our sandwiches in? We've all seen the off-white ones, and this one is a red and white checkerboard one, pretty common. They sure don't tell you they pose a cancer risk. They are sprayed with a lot of chemicals. I don't know why, probably so some company could make a lot of money off of us. I'm just a layman. I'm not going to go into details. I just want you, the public, to be more aware. Plastic tops and straws, those increase pollution. I see them blowing in the fence line in front of my house. Yes, they can harm wildlife as well as ending up in our oceans. All day long we are surrounded by unwanted chemicals. Who says we want to be? Was it big business doing it without our consent? Yes. How can we reduce it? Stop drinking water out of plastic bottles. Use kitchen cleaner that doesn't have harmful ingredients in it. Start reading the labels. If you can't pronounce it, then chances are you don't want it. While you can't be aware of everything, you can learn some, and it will help you on your journey to a greener lifestyle. Let's use polyester as an example. It's man-made from oil products. Clearly it is something we want to reduce to help fight climate change. Polyester is made from oil sludge. The other thing that it is doing is putting small pieces of plastic in the water. Then they are being washed out to sea. The fish eat them and they end up in our food supply. So next time you go to the store, read the label. Yes, please read the label. If it is part poly, then choose a better option. Here's a story I have for you. While I was waiting in line at an estate sale, there was a man in front of me in line that was bragging about putting chemicals on his lawn. I'm totally against that. I see his granddaughter playing close by. I think, what a fool. If he wants to poison himself, maybe he has the right to, but to harm the next generation and pollute the environment, I'm totally against that. How can we change this mindset? Social impact is a good way. Is it so important to have a green lawn and help keep up with the Joneses? This is an odd one. Now they put polyester in your towels. Towels used to be all cotton. When they put the polyester in there, you wash it and the microfibers go down the drain, flow to the oceans, harm the fish. But wouldn't it be so much better? One thing that you could do is use all cotton towels. That way you wouldn't have such a problem. I mean, how many towels do you use? Maybe you wash a load of towels once a week, more if you have a big family. So use all cotton towels and that'll help. It's a good start. Most fast fashion companies use acid dye. After they dye the fabric, they discharge it into the river. It flows downstream, harms the people that live below it. Then it flows to the oceans and the fish eat it, and then we eat the fish, and it's harming the food supply. It would be so much better if you could simply wear lighter colors. The lighter color, the less dye, the less toxic runoff. Black is a big one. Black has the most fabric dye and causes more pollution than any other color. So please, just start wearing lighter colors and it will help. Gardening cleans the air. Gardening is fun. You could grow a couple crops in your area, such as potatoes and green peppers that grow well here. Depending on where you live, it matters what you should grow. My grandparents were farmers. I love to go pick fruit at harvest time. You could go and you could take the kids. If you don't feel up to growing yourselves and can't have a garden where you live, you could buy from your neighbors who have something that you would like to have. If you grow a garden and you have a couple crops and you get, wow, I got like a lot of cucumbers this year, you could swap with other people that live nearby. It's a good thing to do. Just remember, you're growing the food. It's money that Big Ag didn't get. And that creates a lot of happiness and joy sharing with other people about your crops and talking and having harvest parties. And you could go pick some stuff. And we're at Georgetown Lake in Montana. We're out here enjoying this beautiful day in the wilderness. I want to tell you, you think, oh yeah, she lives in Montana. Well, I'm originally from Washington, D.C. I'm a city girl, and there's a lot of things that's about the city that I like, but I've also learned to do a lot of things like garden and can and freeze and put up vegetables so I don't have to keep running back to the store and be at their mercy in the middle of the winter time. I just open up the freezer and I have a pack of something that was grown without any chemicals. The environment has taken a back seat to greed and business for way too long. We need changes now. What is in those pills that you've been taking? Your doctor might be getting paid extra money to prescribe them to you. Big Farm is causing a lot of problems. Yes, I think it is harmful to the environment with all those pill bottles, those plastic pill bottles. I think that we should change what we're doing. I myself, I don't drink soda pop. I don't eat in fast food restaurants. I eat very little canned food. And I get regular exercise. Plus, I garden. If you could do some of those things, just any of them, just please start today. Let's go over some of the terms now. Greenwashing. It means that saying something is environmentally friendly when it is not. Ecofeminism are the good green deeds that women do, such as planting trees, gardening, caring for your family, etc. A seed saver is someone who saves seeds from year to year. You know, it's that so that they can grow it and they don't have to be dependent on multi-conglomerates to get their GMO seeds. It's usually like maybe something your grandmother had. An heirloom seed is something that has been saved from year to year, that has not been tested, changed in the lab. It's around for a long time and it's as nature intended.
Action.
Do you have a clothesline? Here's mine. I like to hang my clothes on the line because then I don't have to worry about paying for electricity for the dryer. And while we're at it, and we're talking about dryer sheets and other softeners that you put on your clothes, you don't need those. They have a lot of chemicals in them. Just hang your clothes on the line, and that will be one of the many things you can do to help the environment. A big box store is a mega store that carries a lot of things, mostly shipped in from overseas, and does very little to support the local area. A mom and pop store is a little store that is supported by the people that run it, usually mom and pop who live locally. They're your neighbors. Nanotech, that is something that's broken down to microscopic pieces and then reconstituted or put back together. You know, it's too small and it can cause harm to you, some people say, but of course big business doesn't tell you that before they sell it to you, and they put it in a lot of clothes. Grassroots is a term that is used for the green movement. It's also used for other small movements. It means that it's usually started by people that care in some small way that don't work for big business. These are my definitions and not necessarily based in scientific fact. I'm an eco-fashion designer. How did I get this knowledge, you may ask? By talking to other people who care about the environment. I read a lot and I keep up on what I think is important to me and the environment. I don't know of any books where you can just suddenly pick up this knowledge, so it's kind of a quest. You learn as you go. If it has something in it that's not organic, shouldn't they be telling us that instead of the other way around? I'm not a big fan of these certificates. They're all done with people that have money. There's always money in the equation, and you have to judge for yourself what is right. If it has chemicals in it, shouldn't they have to tell us? Where are the people that are supposed to be protecting us? Are they in the deep pockets of the people that are making money off us and not protecting us when they should be? Let's change that. Let's get some reforms going and make them tell us what's in our food. I heard it put very well. If it isn't organic, shouldn't they have to tell us what else is in there instead of the other way around? Why do we need these certificates? Who is protecting us and the bees, plus the planet is suffering? Is it the greedy corporations and the 1% who are making outrageous sums of money off us and destroying the Earth's resources? Money is just a tool. It can be used for good or evil. Let's send them a message with what we buy or don't buy. Let's see if things don't start getting better. Maybe then we can get a handle on reversing climate change and all the harm that is being done. COVID-19 has showed us just how quickly things can change. The air is much cleaner now. Let's see if we can keep it going. Are people going to be willing to take the necessary steps that it needs to help to change the environment? It's harvest time. I'm in Montana and this is our family greenhouse. We have a lot of tomatoes here and I'm getting ready to pick them. At the beginning of the season, I have my saved seeds that were heirloom, which I saved from the year before and the year before that. and then I start the plants inside, and when it gets warm enough I bring them out. Here's a few that I'm picking. I might pick a few more before the end of the film. This is organic popcorn that I save, and every year I plant a few more of those, and I got it on the internet. And then this is my arugula, organic arugula seeds, and I save them, and then I have arugula, and then I bring it inside. I have little pots. I bring it inside so I can have some fresh greens during the winter. It's really fun having a greenhouse. It will reduce your stress. You can plant indoors or, outdoors if you have the ability. A lot of places have sites where you can have a community garden. We don't have that here, but we're a small town. If you live in the city, a community garden might be just the thing for you. I have a little bit of Swiss chard here. This is really good. You don't have to worry about pesticides because we didn't spray it with anything, so you can just eat it right off the plant.